back to that, your sector analysis, and back to something interesting that came from the first review around inflation rates vis-a-vis some of the asset classes is real estate. And Bayo, I want you to speak to this, because if I look at the fact that 10 years, 20 years back, because that's what Tolu's data showed, I'm not gaining so much value, not so much. It looked like real estate at least wasn't the worst of them all, I'm not getting so much value. But asset ownership in terms of real estate is still something the average Nigerian, not just the average person, no matter where you are, you believe in home ownership, you believe in land ownership, because of course, population growth it remains the fundamental need for the industries and for individuals. But then I have to have an approach to it. And I just want you to start from that angle. How should I therefore approach real estate? So Bayo, over to you.
Thank you, Fumi. Despite the inflation in the economy of the country, I can probably tell you that the real estate is still a very good industry to invest in. Despite the inflation and despite the economic meltdown that we are facing right now, the real estate is one of the top areas when it comes to investment, and it has really contributed to the economy of this financial economy of this country. It has become prevalent in a quite long time ago now that it is a sector whereby you can easily put your money and get a good return. Yeah, there are so many ways to play in this real estate sector, because there are different types of investment that you can go into. I can say, let me just say, if you look at the residential real estate right now, the inflation it might look as if the inflation is not really affecting the residential real estate, but it is. It might look as maybe the inflation it is really affecting it, and the time to show it might take some time. For now, let me just say the cost of building material is very high now. So most of the developer are the one bearing this cost. Now I can probably tell you, but that played back based on what you're taking to invest into real estate. Probably maybe a property you can buy for like 20 billion naira in the last 7 months. Now you can't get it at that price again, meaning that you have to step up your capital base to come in if you want to play in the residential real estate. The developer, the investors are really not finding it easy as it is right now because of the inflation and the cost of building materials, construction, the machine and everything has really gone up. So it's actually affecting the residential real estate. But if you look at the commercial real estate, there are a lot of opportunity in commercial real estate. If you look at the hospitality, and you look at also for office development, to me is not really a good one right now. But if you look at hospitality, hotel, and also if you look at shopping mall, but to me, shopping mall, really the security problem we had in the last year has really dropped the interest of foreign investors in commercial shopping complex. A lot of people don't really have that trust, that confidence in investing in that area. But there's still so much opportunity to take into commercial real estate when it comes to office development. Hotel and Airbnb and some other aspects of real estate within the commercial real estate is still very, very viable. And it is a sector whereby you can invest in. If you look at the economy of real estate is more of a service economy, let me just put it that way. And this is, the Nigerian GDP is 50% to Nigerian GDP, because real estate play more within the service economy of the nation. So if you look at land investment, which is another type of investment you can do in real estate, I can say that within this inflation period, it's a good way to invest. It's really a good way to invest. But for you to buy into that aspect of real estate investment, you need to be you need to know, you need to get a knowledge. How do you buy into that? And that is why your due diligence have to come in, because that's an area that the risk is very, very high, very, very high to invest in land investment, because this is something you have to go and buy in an underdeveloped area and wait. You hold it for some time, you wait. So for this economy right now, at this inflation period, it is still a very, very good way to play in real estate sector. The industrial real estate is very, very viable too. Let me just put it that way. It's very, very viable right now. There's so much opportunity in industrial real estate as it is right now. So I would say, if you look at it 10 years ago, or what, like the question you asked me, I would say real estate, you can't go wrong with real estate investment. You can't go wrong with real estate investment at any point in time, because the demand is always there. But the cost of entry, the investment portfolio might be very high as it is right now, because the cost of building materials has really gone up if you are looking at the residential real estate. So it is a very good, a viable industry to still put your money in right now, to invest.
Yeah, so Bio, as much as I hear you that it's viable, it's nice. So I think of the fact that, say, for example, I'm not residing in Nigeria, and Lagos is the economic hub for the country. And so real estate seems to be the big deal here. So the question I will ask you is, how can I mitigate my risk? I want to come to Lagos. I still want to do this real estate deal. I think it's nice. I want to probably even build an estate. How do I get started? How do I protect myself? There's Omonile saga going on. It's strongly unregulated. Omonile is also the government's, grassroots is strategic in winning any zone here. So there's a lot of I don't know how to put it, but there's a lot of uncertainties playing out there, and I still want to invest. That's the truth. So how do you go about that? How do you?
Sure. Yeah, let me say there are a lot. Most of the real estate industry in Nigeria is being really pushed today by the people in the diaspora. Let me tell you, the people in the diaspora are the one really, really pushing this market as it is right now. The buying power of a typical Nigerian is very, very poor right now based on the inflation, and the inflation has really hit on the basic need of any woman in Nigeria right now. So the buying power is very poor to a typical Nigerian, but people in the diaspora have an hedge to invest back home here because of the exchange rate. And if you look at the exchange rate and you felt that there's a lot of them that they cannot even invest in, let's say you are in the UK now, you can't invest. There's a limit to how you can invest because of some taxes or some arrangement you have to go through before you invest in real estate in developer. But here in Nigeria, when the sector is not really regulated, I can probably tell you, if you look at the money market, the exchange rate, and you come in here to invest, all you just need to do is to be able to identify an area. Why do you want to buy? Why do you want to invest back home here? Is it for you to be an homeowner, just for a possession sake, or for you to make a quick return, a good return? Which return you need to look at it based on the risk factor too. If you want a very high return, that means how do you maximize the risk? So as an investor from a diaspora, you need to look at the risk factor also. Why do you want, before you can exchange your dollar to naira to buy in it? So also to buy in a way whereby you won't run into a money issue or government issue, because this is a sector that is not really regulated. So you need to identify the sector, the area of real estate you want to put your money in. You need to identify that before even thinking of investing in Nigeria. So that you can invest directly, and you can invest indirectly. Indirectly can happen through a real estate investment trust or real estate investment group. There are a lot of real estate investment group now running by an independent individual real estate company. That individual will run a real estate investment group too. So you can invest indirectly through that. Either real estate investment trust or real estate investment group, there are a lot of people, a lot of organizations, companies running real estate agency, real estate investment through bringing flow people together to invest, to co-own a property. There are a lot of that right now in the country. And you can also invest into a lot of real estate platforms out there. There are a lot of real estate platforms out there where you can invest also too. But I would say that if you need to be able to identify, because most of these real estate platforms, real estate group, most of them it's not really, it's a sector that is not really regulated. So you need to be very careful to identify which company, which individual you have to deal with. So when you want to invest directly, you need to just be able to identify a lot of real estate companies. There's a way there's a proof of concept. You want to buy into residential real estate, there are a lot of off-plan deals going on there, which is a very good way to enter real estate investment. Off-plan deals, whereby at the point of entry to the site, you key into it, you get it in a very good price, but by the time you wait, before the development is done, maybe there's a timeline, it's like 18 months, you are already making money. But how do you do that? You can't just go online there and just identify any real estate company that is doing any real estate development and just key into it. Had real estate investment in Nigeria and real estate from diaspora mostly have one person or the other that is their relatives that connect them to a company or an individual before they can buy into any development. That's for residential. If you're looking at land, you have to be even very careful in that way. And that's an area that has a very entry level. With a 1 million naira, I have an estate in Ecuador right now that we're selling for like 1 million naira. So you can easily key into that, whereby it's very, very easy to pay within 6-month payment plan. So if you are buying into land, you need to be very careful. But if you are buying into commercial property, and there are a lot of companies who are already listed under the Nigerian Stock Exchange, whereby you can get a due diligence before you can do that. So it is the viable industry to staple your money at this inflation time. But you just need to be very careful, wary of a lot of scammer out there. Let me think if I may use the word. There are a lot of companies who are just out there to take advantage of people in diaspora because they are not here, and they are the most victim in real estate investment in Nigeria. People down here, they have the opportunity to come and do a physical viewing before purchasing, but there are a lot of people in diaspora who are buying into a lot of deals back home here that is not really well detailed. And after many years, they find out that the investment is bad. That's mostly in landed investments, but in residential real estate, it's still minimal, but the entry capital is very high there, because for you to buy a residential real estate that can give you a good return within the space of 10 years, you should be thinking of 20 million naira upward. That is very high, but there are a lot of ways you can do it. If you don't want to do it directly, you can do it indirectly by investing through a real estate investment trust or real estate investment group.
Okay, that's interesting. So, Barry, I have a follow-up question here. So, just speak to us. How can an investor really protect themselves in this real estate space? You spoke about off-plan deals. Off-plan deals also take a while to materialize, really. You can bring out your off-plan pitch where you're selling and marketing and tell people, in 18 months, this is what it is. Something goes wrong, 18 months, we're still looking up to the heavens. 36 months, we're still trusting God. And 72 months,
thank you.
Because like you rightly said, you can start the off-plan deal at price X. Inflation hits. The money you guys have collected is not sufficient to actually develop. That's the truth. And those are the realities on ground that people need to be mindful of. But beyond all of that, the core of the question is, how can an investor still protect themselves in a real estate space? What exactly must I do to protect myself?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will suggest that if you wanted to invest into real estate development that is through a off-plan deals, it's a, like I told you, like I said earlier on, that the developer are the one bearing the cost right now. Because if you really want to stand for your integrity level, you have to deliver based on integrity level. But there are a lot of them that you will not be able to deliver. And that's why in the next few months now, let me say, there are going to be a lot of court cases surrounding developers within the commercial hub in Lagos State today, as it is today. Because it's a two-way thing. Whether you are delivering based on integrity purpose. Oh, I can't job, because there is no way you go back to a subscriber to tell the subscriber that the price has changed. There's no way to do that. If you do that, it will cause a lot of damage to your brand as a whole. But okay, now how do you now mitigate this level of inflation? Because it is already glaring at us right now. The cost of building material is very, very high. If you start a project today, I can probably tell you, okay, let me just say it's for now, for the past few months now, it's still stable. It looks that the industry is immune to what is happening. But January till June, I can probably tell you it's very crazy. It's roller coaster when it comes to the cost of building material. It's going on very high. And there is a lot of, my company, we actually run into a loss at early this year, because we take a construction job for a particular amount of money. And by the time we are to delivery, I can probably tell you the iron rod, the cement has really gone up. So that actually affected. Okay, what do? We have to bear by, just because of the integrity aspect, to just say, okay, we want to stand by what we actually agree with the subscriber. But I can probably tell you, it is for a subscriber to mitigate your loss right now is to be able to do a background check on any developer promising you of any off-plan deals for either for 12 months or 18 months, which majorly you see 18 months. I've seen 3 years payment plan, which I'm not so much, for me, I don't really advise people for that. But I do advise that if you wanted to buy into an off-plan deals, why not do the one with you can get access to the Nigerian, there is this fund available in Nigeria now, in other the federal government mortgage scheme, whereby you can pay that a single digit of 6% to get your loan. If you can get that to buy into a property, is better than you to subscribe to a deal of 18 months or 20 or 33 years right now, because it's either you should be expecting that things can change based on the inflation in the economy. Things can change. The developer can come back to you and tell you that, okay, this product I'm selling for you at so price cannot go at this price again. You have to. So you should be aware of the inflation rates in the country, which is affecting development right now. So if you want to invest in the residential real estate, you should be aware of that. So you should have that in the back of your mind before you even come to invest in real estate in Nigeria, as it is now, if it is residential real estate. But for land, I can probably tell you that's the area where you can play and you can beat inflation with that. Let me just say that. In Nigeria, we can beat it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bio. Thank you for that. And so I just want to quickly go back to some questions that we have. And my recap of what you said, real estate is still good, but you approach it carefully and thoughtfully. You have to know what exactly you're doing and why you're choosing that asset class. So to just quickly wrap up your segment, I want you to just speak to, I know Lagos is a tricky place, but we have the rest of the country to look at. In your own opinion, based on your experience so far in the industry, what other states do you think, I would say sane, is a bit more sane when you're looking at real estate as a form of investment? So let's wrap
okay. Well, okay. When you look at Lagos as a commercial hub in the country, this is a very viable state to invest in real estate. Lagos it is, but the risk involved is very, very high. So you need to take it up. But if you not look at any other state, I would suggest if you look at Abuja as the let me just say the capital, the center of power, like in the country. Abuja is viable, but there is overpriced. There's some location that is overpriced. It's just a developing area. And if you look at the southwest beside the commercial hub, which is Lagos, I would suggest that there are some neighboring city to Lagos that is very viable due to the accessibility to Lagos. If you look at, if you want to do like a commercial real estate now, I can probably say that there are a lot of opportunity along the Ijebu, Ogun State houses for commercial purpose. If you are going to construct a park, let's say like a park, like a trailer park now, a trailer park, there are a lot of foreign investors who are also looking into that in Nigeria right now. And where is the best location? If you're looking at warehousing park, trailer park, and some other things along the Ijebu to Epe to Lagos is a very viable location now, and lots of foreign investors and local investors are taking advantage of that. So I would say Ogun State when it comes to Southwest, but I will look at Abuja as a city, as a center of power, that there is a lot of viable area there. There are some area that are already overpriced, just like we have it in Lagos where there's an area that is overpriced that if you are an investor, I won't advise you to start in that area because the price is already at the stage whereby if you're not coming in very big, you can't play in that area and you can't easily get a good return because there are a lot of empty houses around those area and empty office. Let me just put it that way. So it's not a viable one to invest in office development in some area now and also real estate. Thank you. So Ogun State, Abuja, very viable.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
As we begin to wrap up, just because I know usually sometimes we have participants who might later have questions that pop up or we say something on the call and they just want to ask for more insight. So I would ask you, Tolu, Bayo, and Kay, to please just drop either your social media handles or email, some means that anyone joining us could later reach you to engage a bit more. Is that fine? So just drop it in the chat room for everyone to see. That'll be good.